everybody. Okay, so I hope you're all still hanging out here saying hello, hello, hello. If you're on Facebook right now, I want you to share this and let's get some more people jumping on. Here's what I want to share with you. Okay, so actually let me paint a picture for you guys. Can I paint a picture for it? And tell me if this is you. So how many people feel like it's exhausting to get good at the social platforms out there? Put me if that's you, right? How many guys, and have any of you guys done well on one of the platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, Twitter, right? Any of you guys get good on any of these sites? Go in the comment section, just let me know. LinkedIn, right? I always forget about LinkedIn. Somebody just messaged me on LinkedIn. I happened to be on there this morning. I was like, I'm so sorry, I'm never on LinkedIn. Well, any of you guys feel like that? Like, I'm so sorry, I'm never in my Facebook inbox. I'm so sorry, I'm not really good with Instagram. Any of you guys have any of those conversations? Because please don't leave me out here. I've been in business for 14 years in the coaching industry. Before that, I was in the real estate industry. Before that, I was in the nightclub industry in Las Vegas. Believe it or not, the company that I worked for brought bottle service. Instead of buying a drink at a nightclub, you bought a bottle, right? There's moments in history that everything shifts. There's moments in history that everything shifts. And this is one of those moments. Just checking something real quick. This is one of those moments. And so I can tell you that I have hired virtual assistants to help me run social media better. And this isn't about social media, but this is about the exhaustion of trying to get our content out there everywhere. Right, y'all? You guys get what I'm saying? Like any of you guys, like where have you done well? And where's the pain point? So I want you to go and tell me the pain point right now. What is your pain point with getting more of your content out there so you can reach more people? And by the way, even like before we jumped on live, we were talking to Karina in VIP, and we were talking about the fact that she wants to buy a hotel, and she feels like God told her to buy this hotel, and I honor that. But I asked her, here's how you could, I said, here's a resource that can actually show you how to actually buy that hotel. And then you could see her get very uncomfortable. And so I said, are you really ready to buy that hotel? And she said, oh, not really. That's why I want to do this other thing instead. So I took her on. I'm going to take you guys on. She's actually going to be the foundation. Karina, you're the foundation, baby. I'm going to put her as the foundation of where we get to live. If you ever wanted to come coach with me privately, there's always the someday. For Karina, it was someday I'll buy that hotel, right? Well, if God told you to buy that hotel, you should be going into that right now. You should be actually honoring that right now if you really believe that. But the truth is that we have a challenging time leading ourselves to take action on the things that we know we should be doing. And one of the things I know and have known for a long time is that to become really, really successful, there's one, and let me do a quick poll. Do you want to be rich or do you want to be famous? Go in the chat. Do you want to be rich or do you want to be famous? Make a decision. Do you want to be rich or do you want to be famous? Go in the chat and let me know. Lots of riches here somebody's like both, right? You want to be rich, you want to be famous? Let us know, right? Go in the chat and let us know. Okay, so here's what's wild. So I chose rich first, and now I'm choosing famous. And the reason why I'm choosing famous is because I need to reach more people to be able to make a bigger difference in the world. You get what I'm saying? I need to reach more people. Now, you can do them both at the same time, but until artificial intelligence came on the mainstream, right? Who knows about Chat GPT? Put I do if you know about Chat GPT. So I know there's a lot of people who don't know about it still, but Chat GPT offered something for free that loaded a bunch of people on and gave us speed. Money loves speed. So the more we can get you to practice, you don't have to be perfect, but for practice, getting your content out there. I just spent the weekend with Grant Cardone, and one of the things he's just relentless about, and he shows his tracking trend online, when he was just doing events and content, it took entirely too long. So Karina, your hotel that you want to buy, entirely too long. You could be like 80 by the time you get it if we keep thinking this way. Like I'll do this first and then I'll get to that. No. AI has made it possible for us to make more money than we've ever made before. So I think there's going to be more billionaires made. I think there's going to be more multi-millionaires made. I think that there's going to be more multiple six figures. I think with artificial intelligence, there is just no reason why any of us should stay broke. You down with me on this? You guys, are you down with me on this? Because if it's about speed and we overthink, get overwhelmed and frustrated, then the truth is we're doing too much if we're in these weeds, right? We're doing too much. Well, what if you could do a piece of content, use artificial intelligence the right way and be able to repurpose it? Or what if there's other ways to use AI to reach more people, turn your social channels into literally conversion places? Because it's one thing to get off a stage and say, oh my gosh, like T and Cassandra and Kathleen, Katrina, Tim, John, Rick, you made such a big difference for me. But then nobody takes out their credit card and buys. Well, if they don't take out their credit card and buy, that means you are interesting. You guys, you can't take interesting to the bank. There's no interest on interesting. There's no investing interesting. It's a dead game. It makes you feel famous. It makes you feel good. But the truth is that it's time to get rich and get famous at the same time. Whether you feel ready or you don't, you got to take action now, because you don't want to be left in the dust of the transition that's happening in history right now that they'll be reading about or listening to or going into their minds later. Gosh, it's a scary world that's coming. But it's only because we're now the grandparents or the parents or the elders that look back and go, when I was a kid, it didn't look like this, but now there's a super advancement happening. I'm going to invite my friend Chris Winfield to the virtual stage with me right now. If you guys can pop Chris Winfield up, hopefully he's on here with us. Yay! Hello, my friend. How are you?
Good. What's up? Hello, everybody. Good to see you all today. Light up that chat.
So good. So Chris and I are really good friends. He's the only person that I've ever met that we talk about outgiving each other. We're just weird. How do we outgive each other, right? So we've worked together. We've worked with their past company that they've sold now. I believe that was where we helped build out sales teams with them. He and his wife are good friends of ours, and we're at their wedding like that. Like, this isn't just kind of a smoke and mirrors. We really are good friends.
Right.
And they help me a lot be seen. Like I remember saying to Jen, Jen, I hate the elevator speech, having to get on Clubhouse or any of these things and say, who am I? She's like, I know, but I can help you feel more comfortable with that. So guys, it's time to get rich. It's time to get famous. And you don't want to be left behind with this movement. Chris is going to take over and he's going to start talking to you guys about what they're doing and how they transitioned into this movement and how it's going to benefit you, because my love speed. All right, take me off, you guys. I'm going to hand it over to Chris.
All right, love you. Thank you. And it's funny, guys, when Chanda says they were at our wedding. Like, they're really, really, really dear friends. And we're actually in the middle of running our own challenge this week. And I think I said to Chanda, I was like, you're the only person I would do this for. So I am really excited to be here with you all. Let me know how you're feeling. 1 to 10, light up that chat. And actually, so if anyone's been on events with us or challenges with us, you'll know that we do something every time, an engagement contest. And what we're going to do one today as well here, just because it's a different place doesn't mean that we don't do the things the same way. So for whoever is the most engaged person today in the chat, and that means like really thoughtful comments, summarizing things, being helpful, your videos on, all these things, I'm going to give you $250 cash. So this is about money, you'll get money. Somebody on Chanda's team, you're going to pick the winner, and then you're going to get there. You're going to just tell me who it is right before I'm done speaking. And I am going to then PayPal that person $250. Okay. You guys want to play? Want to do that? All right, let's go. All right, cool. So I don't have anything prepared, so that you're like, oh, great. I'm so happy I showed up. Because the reason why is I want to just go live on, and show things in ChatGPT, show some things in Bard, and really help you to do a couple of things today. This is my goal for today. I want to help you really understand how to use a tool like ChatGPT to get really, really clear on your customer avatar, your ICA, your ideal client avatar. Would that be helpful? Who struggles with coming up with personas and, really getting clear about who they're creating content for? Let me know if it's you, because it was me big time. And these tools are really, really powerful for that. And why do I want to start there? Because we're not going to start making content or coming up with a content plan if we don't know who we're doing it for, right? It doesn't make any sense. And that's usually what happens. And that's why I saw somebody wrote, about feeling like it's an uphill battle to get things to do well on Facebook or Instagram. And many times it's because you're missing this initial step. You're not really getting clear about who you're making content for. So you just start making content. And you make content, and many of you are probably making a lot of content because you heard somebody say, content is king, content is king. But here's the thing, context is really king, meaning that if you're making it for the right people, it's going to be so much more effective, because really what we really want, and especially around this challenge, conversion is the super king, right? Forget content. We want conversions. So by starting with the ideal client avatar and really getting clear about that, we're going to do so much better. So does that sound good? Do you want to start there? And I'm going to all right, so here, I'm just being completely upfront. I have nothing prepared. I'm going to open up my browser and I'm going to call on some different people who want help. And we're going to do it live as like a real workshop style. Some things might not work. I might mess up, whatever, but we're good. Who's good with that? It's always much funner that way, right? Than just having all right, cool. All right, let's start. I'm going to walk you through three different ways, three different prompts, and to help come up with your client profiles, customer personas. So who's really, really struggling? Like, tell me to really, that you really want help. Rip and tear, I hurt. Just tell me what your, you know what, Sile O'Brien, I need help. All right, I'm gonna bring you up here. Do I have moderator privileges, or can you bring up the people?
Yeah.
So
bring them up for who are you looking for?
Here, actually, it looks like I can do it. Yeah, there we go. All right, cool. What's up?
Hey, Chris.
How are you? All right, so one other quick thing. What we always do, we just share a quick gratitude before we get into whatever we're going to do. So what are you grateful for today?
I'm really grateful to be chosen. So thank you.
All right, that's good. All right, so tell me a little bit about what you do.
Okay, so I am a transformational coach, and I help UN consultants crush their imposter syndrome. And
UN consultants, like United Nations?
Exactly. I used to be one.
Wow.
And the thing is that what I'm struggling is that I've realized that just the UN staff also has this. It's mainly women, and entrepreneurs have it. So I'm feeling like my audience is very, very, it's a little bit too narrow.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah. All right, cool. So that's good. We'll start with that. All right. So we're going to work mostly with ChatGPT today, GPT-4. So it's from a company called OpenAI. It sounds like everyone's familiar with it. At least have heard of it. Many of you are probably using it a lot. Many of you are probably using it a little bit, and there's two versions. There's a free version, but I would highly recommend to just upgrade to the plus, and it's $20 a month. It's literally the best $20 you could spend. I have multiple accounts just because I use it so much, and I pay them $20 over and over and over. There's also, just so that you know, Google has their own version, which up until a few days ago was really bad. Now it's pretty good, and there's some things that it works really well with, and I'm going to hopefully show you if we have time. But we're going to mostly, just since time is kind of limited, I'm going to mostly focus on ChatGPT 4. So if you come here, by default, it's on 3.5. We're going to put it on 4 because 4 is so much more powerful. All right, so and what I'm going to put in here is what we would call a prompt. So if you listen to Shanda's, her pocket coaching this morning, she said prompts, this and that, and like you might have heard of these things. A prompt is basically just an instructions. It's just instructions to the, to the bot. And basically the way that you talk to ChatGPT is you talk to it like it's in like the best employee ever. It's an employee that knows everything, never gets sick, no matter how you are to it, it doesn't care, it shows up. But the cool thing about it is that you can tell it what to be. So if you look at this prompt here, it says, as an expert marketing strategist, your role revolves around developing and executing highly effective marketing campaigns that precisely target specific customer segments. So what I'm doing is I'm telling it what it is, because it's memorized and knows all this information. So what I'm just doing is I'm saying, focus on this information that you know, that you're an expert here. So for example, I could tell it that you're the best salesperson in the world, or the best sales trainer in the world, or the best sales author in the world. And those would all do different things. But for our sake right here, we're going to say that you're an expert marketing strategist, because if I was trying to figure out and really wanting to get this information about my customer profiles, etc., I would go to an expert marketing strategist, right? But does that make sense? Let me know if you're following me in the chat. You are following. All right, cool. Let's go. All right, so all we're going to do with this is we're just going to tell it what your product or service is. So let's do it without it being so narrow around just the UN, because that is way too narrow. So how would you say it? Like if you met somebody at a party, how would you describe what you do? How does it benefit people?
It benefits people because they're free to go for the promotion and get their life back, get their sanity back.
Okay, so are you a coach or a consultant?
I'm a coach.
For a coach who helps people, what?
Get promoted, get visibility, and earn more.
All right, visibility won't really make sense as much as
no. Okay. Earn more
in their careers, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. That's perfect. Because all we're looking for, so it's something really important, folks, is that you'll see in 1 second, actually. All right, so all I'm going to do is hit this. All right, so what it's going to start doing is it's going to build out these tables and get us some demographic information. So here we go. Did you know that it can do this? To build out tables like this. All right, so it's basically, this one is doing profiles. So it's asking if, like, it's going to tell us that they have a credit card, what their favorite movies are, favorite books, most frequently visited websites. So LinkedIn, Forbes, Wall Street Journal, who influential figures on social media: Elon Musk, Simon Sinek, Gary Vaynerchuk, Michelle Obama, Jack Ma. So it's pretty, that's pretty interesting. And then this is where the things I love here. So values, professional growth, financial security, work-life balance, attitudes, positive, proactive, ambitious, detail-oriented. All right, but here's where it gets really interesting. Look at the biggest secret fear: being stuck in the same position without progress or financial growth. Big complaint from the existing solution: current career coaching solutions are generic, not tailored to individual needs and circumstances. I think that's pretty accurate, right?
Yeah.
Biggest secret desire: to have a fulfilling and prosperous career that provides financial stability and personal satisfaction, to achieve work-life balance. Okay, cool. So what's really good here and what's bad?
It's a little bit generic, but it's good that people with imposter syndrome struggle with self-doubt, chronic self-doubt. They dismiss their successes. And
Okay,
this
hold on. I can't take that fast.
Yeah.
These people also struggle with chronic self-doubt. Uh-huh.
They feel they don't belong. They fear.
Wait, you got it. I can't type more than one thing at a time.
Okay.
I'm not a robot.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was just explaining. I didn't realize you were typing everything.
No, because I want to put this in. They feel like
okay, sure.
Okay.
Sure. Fear they don't belong.
Uh-huh.
They fear being found a fraud.
Okay, perfect. I'm not going to do any more because I can't.
Okay.
I'm going to just show you enough. They fear being found out as a
fraud.
All right. So what I did was I said pretty good, but way too generic. So almost never does it get it right the first time. So what you want to do is you want to keep going. So it's what you call a multi-shot prompt, meaning we're going to do more than one. So what we said was pretty good, but way too generic. Do better. These people also struggle with chronic self-doubt and feel like they don't belong and they fear being found out as a fraud. So this will now get us a much better understanding, especially when it comes to the pain points. So let's see. Influential figures changed a little bit. Brene Brown, Sheryl Sandberg from Facebook, Susan Cain, the leadership person. Okay, self-reflective, ambitious, persistent, conscientious, mental health, leadership, inclusion, self-development. All right, regular exercise, mindful meditation. Okay, so here we go. Experiencing imposter syndrome, fearing to be exposed as a fraud, not fitting in. Current career coaching has failed to address the deeper barriers, All right, overcome self-doubt, imposter syndrome, confidently excel in their chosen field, and prove their worth. So prove their worth, I think, is really good. That's something I would, go on to. So here's now it's going to get into their shopping triggers as well. So empathetic and personalized coaching, strong emphasis on mental health, proven strategies to overcome imposter syndrome with self-doubt. So this is saying with the primary shopping triggers, it's basically telling you what you would need, to be able to get this kind of person as a client. Okay, so
excellent.
Right
up, yeah,
really detailed profile of a this and make it in the first person. So now we're going to say, all right, write up a really detailed profile of a person like this and make it in the first person. So it says, hey, hello there. My name is Jane Smith, and I currently reside in the bustling city of New York. I'm a proud credit card owner and a career-oriented individual, always on the lookout for ways to grow and expand my skill set. In my spare time, I relish watching movies that inspire me and provoke thought. Films like Hidden Figures and The Imitation Game really resonate with me. They showcase the struggles and triumphs of underdogs, which I can relate to. So I think that's really good. I think to know about the underdog feeling, I think that's really, and so I'm always looking for stuff like that. You know what I mean? Where it's, things that that are just unique like that. So it's the books. So isn't this cool? How this is literally writing. This is a person. So now, and then we're going to do something in a minute. And it's cool. This one, now it's telling why they like Susan Cain or why they like Mel Robbins. As an ambitious woman, I value authenticity, courage. So by the way, if people are watching me type, I type way worse. I realize that. All right, so my biggest secret desire is to conquer this self-doubt, imposter syndrome. I aspire to excel confidently in my chosen field and prove my self-worth to myself and others. So self-worth came up again. More than career progression, I yearn for recognition for my abilities and contributions. That's actually a really interesting point where a lot of times people, it's not just about getting a promotion, it's about getting recognition. I think that's really good. When I look for career coaching services, I'm drawn to those who offer a personalized and empathetic approach. I value a strong emphasis on mental health and look for proven strategies to combat imposter syndrome and self-doubt. Tangible results and a holistic approach towards career growth and personal development are also significant factors in my decision-making process. Really cool. All right. So, and then I'm just going to ask you this one question. What are you most, because this, in terms of when we're writing content, the thing I said, what are you most afraid of happening in your career? The thing I fear most, and this is surprising to me, is remaining stagnant. So it's not being laid off, it's being, just plateaued. Yeah. So I worry about hitting a plateau where I no longer feel challenged or stimulated by my work. But more than that, my deepest fear is succumbing to imposter syndrome, the chronic self-doubt that I'm not as competent or intelligent as others perceive me to be. I constantly worry that I might be exposed as a fraud, that my colleagues will one day discover I've been masquerading as someone more capable than I really am. This fear sometimes hinders my ability to seize opportunities and fully showcase my abilities. It's this fear I'm most determined to conquer as I continue on my journey. All right, so right there.
Perfect. Yeah.
Like that's amazing copy, like to integrate into your website. Like this would be something that I would love to get from somebody. So pretty cool. All right, so here's what we're gonna do now. So now we're gonna say you are now a social media marketing expert. What types of content should I create to win James Smith as a client? So I said, you're now a social media marketing expert. What types of content should I create to win James Smith as a client? All right, so do you see that? Here we go. Like, boom, we did all that to get the baseline so that we're now creating content for somebody that, it's going to make a difference. It's not just saying create content for somebody who's afraid of losing their job. Do you see how much better it is? Just like it took, 15 minutes to do that. So educational content. Jane values personal growth, is consistently looking for ways to improve herself. Share informative articles, infographics, and video tutorials about overcoming self-doubt, combating imposter syndrome, blah, blah, blah. Interactive posts, personalized content. All right, so again, what it did here is it started off, it gives us an overview, okay? So what we can now do though is this. So, oh wow, it's still going. Changed a lot.
That's amazing.
All right, so here, expand on number 1 and give me the first post. So now I said expand on number 1, which is the educational content, and give me the first post. So again, so we're just we got all that. Now we're going to go deeper on the first one. So post image, an attractive infographic depicting the cycle of imposter syndrome. And this is actually really good. I might take this. And steps to break it. And here it is, the caption. Are you familiar with the term imposter syndrome? Psychological pattern where individuals doubt their skills, talents, or accomplishments and have a persistent internalized fear of being exposed to their fraud. Imposter syndrome can be paralyzing, making it difficult for you to seize opportunities and showcase your abilities, but the good news, it can be overcome. Here are some steps that help you break the cycle of imposter syndrome. This is great, actually. And so, by the way, what I do with infographics, everyone familiar with what an infographic is?
Yeah.
That term. So it's, it's basically taking a lot of information and putting it in a picture format, and, an infographic. So what I would do is I get it to do all the information for that. Hang on, watch what I'll do. Hold on. Go deeper and give me everything I need for the infographic. All right, so I'm going to say go deeper and give everything I need for the infographic. So it's going to give us everything we need. It's insane.
But can ChatGPT create an infographic?
Nope. So what you would do is you just take this and you copy and paste it into a Google Doc, and then you go on a site like Fiverr, or if you have an in-house designer, but I'll just go on Fiverr and write and type for infographic. And usually I hire 2 people, and because it's like hit or miss, and you just give them this, and it, you can have it back in a day, and it'll be this absolutely beautiful cornerstone piece of content. Do you see how much information it's giving us?
It's amazing.
Yeah. So there are graphic tools that are doing it, but they're just, I don't feel like they're not there yet. And you would pay 50 to $100. Sometimes I pay more, but anywhere in there, and you get something beautiful.
Yeah.
So it's doing all this, and then it'll also give you all the, it'll give you a breakdown of like also the visuals and everything like that. So see how crazy it is that, that somebody's scared that it's going to take over. So that how much information you just got, like, do you feel like you understand your customer a little bit better now?
Yes, absolutely. How can I get a copy of this?
I will, maybe I can.
What do you mean? You've got the recording of it, so you can actually go do it. You should actually take these prompts and go do it, so that you have the knowledge inside you. You know what I'm saying? But you have a recording VIP. Yeah,
sounds great. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much, Chris. This is awesome.
You're welcome. All right, who's next? Let's do a completely, I'm gonna show you a different prompt for this. Who really needs help? Brenda Lee. All right, Brenda Lee. Can somebody bring her up? That'd be great. Brenda Lee.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, what's up?
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Okay, this is awesome. I brought my kid in here and I was like, you got to see this. He's like, Mom, I use this all the time. And I was like, well, then you're hired. Like, how do I not know this? This is amazing.
Where is he? I can't see you guys. Oh, wait, I don't see him.
Oh, he left because he was like, I know this. He was like, you're boring me.
Yeah. All right, cool. So tell me what you do.
So my main job, well, we've got 3 different companies. So I'm going to give you this predicament and see if you can help me through this. My main focus is working with high-level executives who are their leadership teams. They are stuck. They're marching in the same direction, but not marching in sync, right? So we come in, eradicate the dysfunction, teach them communication skills, and we teach them emotional intelligence, right? And so that's why this AI is such an interesting dynamic for me. We're also, thanks to Shanda, shifting into my personal brand where we're doing next level living and starting to just pump out. Everybody loves the content like you're talking about, but I'm not certain that I've been targeted with the right people. So we started the second platform where we're going to just give low ticket offers to people basically around emotional intelligence. We've done a lot of search on emotional intelligence, and it's a critical component right now that people are searching. There's over 185,000 views just last night when I checked it again per month that people are searching. So that content, like I want to be able to utilize that as the overarching business while driving to the leadership development company. And then we also have divorce recovery company as well.
All right, this is way too much information.
You can help me solve this riddle, Chris.
No, let's start. All right, so I think it's actually pretty easy, in my opinion.
Good.
For when you're around creating content, it's pretty easy. It has to be that you're the linchpin. So meaning it's around you. The more that you're able to develop your brand, the more that the others will benefit. So I think that's how you do it. So that's what I would do. Like, that's what we do in our, like, we have multiple businesses, and between me and my wife, and she, has a huge personal brand, and Jen Gottlieb, I don't know, like you've probably seen her. So we do everything through the personal brands, and then put everything in a different place. So
Perfect. That's a
tell
direction
me-
I'm trying to head. So I'm glad to hear that. Thank you.
all right, cool. So how would you describe yourself overall? I am
Give me some context. What do you mean?
like, if you were, what would be your elevator pitch? Like, I am who helps what?
Okay, so I would say that I am, ooh, good question. I haven't thought through this thoroughly, just in the separate brand. So I often say the tagline, like I'm the person that comes in and enables you to believe in yourself to the point that you're actually able to reach your essence, right? People are so stifled and they have doubt, and I'm one of them. I still, like, this is something we're always struggling through, right? We've got self-doubt. We're capping ourselves. We're not playing full out. We're not playing at a level 10. We're playing at a level 7, 6, 5 because we're afraid, because mom told us we couldn't do this at some point in our life. So we shed that baggage, if you will, that everybody carries around, and help people deal with it so that they can do it in an emotional intelligence way instead of just stuffing it and pretending it didn't happen. We deal with all that stuff so that they can go give the world their best gift, which is them operating out of their best.
All right, so I'm just saying, I'm an entrepreneur / coach who helps high performers overcome, like, let's just keep it simple. Like, we don't need to get all that. So, like, what's the main thing you help people with, or your companies help people with?
Yeah. So oftentimes people say that we need to break through the glass ceiling. Something's holding them back. They don't know what it is. We find it, we eradicate it, and we move them past it.
Cool. All right. You know what? You're familiar with upper limit syndrome, right?
Yep.
All right, cool.
Yeah, perfect.
Let's see. All right. So if people don't so for example, like, if because we want to get to these, like, to give us all these the pain points. So what's the worst case scenario if you don't overcome your baggage, or what would it be like?
You're living in your own prison and it makes you miserable and you can't get out.
Yeah, but like simpler, fourth grade level.
Insecurities, Chris. If you don't have
Cool.
any insecurities.
Perfect.
Thanks, Shanda.
All right, cool. Learning to be confident. We're just gonna, I think that'll give it.
I know I'm the voice, like, over top of these guys right now, but, like, exactly, Brenda, when I'm listening to you and listening to the other person, like, hey, how do I get this? It's like the replay's right there. This is all leadership blocks. Do you know what I mean? Like, you getting clear on what it is that you're saying, even though you've done it forever, you charge $50,000 to work with you, and you get it all day long, right? Chris, she coaches with Bedros, right? It's like, she's a high performer, but it's like when we get put on these spots, these are the gaps and the blind spots that are in our leadership that help us be able to scale and not grind constantly and actually see the things scale. It's powerful to look at.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, and that's exactly why, even though I do leadership for multi-billion-dollar companies, I'm doing your leadership program because we all need it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, super smart.
Okay, here. So we're starting to get some of these. So top 5 values: growth, responsibility, achievement, integrity, innovation, life beliefs. So it's giving us all this, like, believes that success comes from hard work and continuous learning, believes that everyone has potential but needs guidance to fully realize it, feeling stuck in current role, imposter syndrome came up, dealing with upper limit, balancing work and personal life, struggles with confident decision making, favorite books: Lean Startup, Daring Greatly, Thinking Fast and Slow. That's like a book. Favorite speakers: Simon Sinek. Favorite social media platform: LinkedIn. Favorite. All right, let's just keep seeing. You're seeing this?
Yeah, oh yeah, holy crap. Yeah, I love it.
All right, so this is where it's going to start getting really interesting. What worries keep you up at night? I'm worried I'll be stuck in the middle management position forever. I fear I won't reach my full potential and I'll be overlooked for promotions. What are you scared this problem says about you? I'm scared it says I'm not good enough, not capable enough, and that I lack the skills to advance in my career. What do you avoid because it triggers too much fear or anxiety for you? I avoid taking risks or making big decisions. That is true because I fear failure and the possibility of being judged. What's worse, the worst case scenario is I never advance my career, never start my own business, and live with regret and the question of what if. Hell, yeah. I'll feel powerless in meetings and discussions, unable to assert my idea. That's a huge one for anyone in corporate America.
Huge.
Take lead on projects. Learning to be confident would give me the courage to take risks, make important decisions, ultimately advance my career. What would make it easier for you to overcome insecurities? Having a mentor or coach to guide me, provide feedback, and help me recognize my strengths would make it easier to overcome my insecurities. How do I maintain confidence when faced with failure? How can I appear confident without coming off as arrogant? That's a great one that comes up a lot. How can I build my self-esteem to a level where I truly believe in myself? I wish it was easier to see my own potential, not compare myself to others. What dream solution, this is where it all comes down to, would you pay anything for? I pay for personalized coaching that helps me break through my upper limit syndrome, develop my leadership skills, and guides me towards my goal. Expand more on the dream solution.
Yeah, because that seems a little geared toward, since we said I was a coach, it's like pitching me for me.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Because usually it's like sell them what they want, give them what they need, right? Like so many times with the teams that I work with, they don't realize they have an emotional intelligence issue and they can't communicate and they can't understand. I love how Shanda always says, like, when did we stop giving people permission to be different? And that's the whole premise. And so they don't realize that. They think team leadership development is going to develop them as a leader, but we're giving them emotional intelligence. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to ask it, what would another solution be? Because then this will probably tell us, but do you see how much it gave you here?
Yeah. Yeah. I see that the customization is really important to these people, which is good because we do that. The actionable strategies, that's a huge one too.
Mm-hmm.
We always say, like, if you have spent 10 years on your counselor's couch, it's time to finally get some help.
Yeah.
We actually give you the skills to get over yourself.
So this is the cool thing. So how you said, like, you felt like that might have been too, like maybe we let it. So then to ask it for something, you throw it completely off. So what would another solution be? And here it's going to come back with a completely different. This is a immersive retreat or workshop focused on professional development and personal growth. Be week-long intensive program held in a serene. So it, like the cool thing about that and doing that, and I would keep asking it, because what it's going to do is it's going to get you, like, it's going to help you brainstorm. And that's one of the things that it's best for is to like make you think, wow, I didn't even think of that. So here's what I'm going to show you two more things. What?
Chris, I have a question. Is this pulling off like SEO, like what people are searching right now? Do you know that?
No, so it's actually, so ChatGPT, they just released on Friday a plugin where it allows it to go on the web. But most of the information, all the information is from September 2021 and before. So it's pulling just from everything that it's learned up until that point, but it's not like anything around SEO or because they basically they feed it information in a different way.
Yeah, that's interesting because it tells me, like, first of all, this is highly valuable and people's stuff in different tribes stays the same. But what makes it hot, like, from your media background, is looking at what's happening in society and what's happening right now, looking at what people are searching on SEO, search engine optimization, putting some of those prompts in there or use this word. It's is a powerful, and this is where leadership again comes in. Like the fact that I'm thinking like this is I'm like, how do I get the competitive edge
Yep.
with this product for speed, but also for just the punch?
So yeah, so there's a help with that. So well, Bard, which is Google's version, is up to date. Like it's searching the web now. Again, I don't find this as good, but there is a plugin. Sorry, not a plugin, a Chrome extension. You can look down here where it says web access. This is this thing, and it's called Web Chat GBT, and you put that on Chrome, and I'll show you what it does in a minute. Let me just show you this one last thing here. So I'm asking it, what social media content would you create for the retreat to get people excited about it? Because again, we wanted to come on here to create content, but we did all this research, and now we're going to now create some content. So teaser videos, behind the scenes content.
This is epic. I want to actually fill an entire event with just AI advice.
Oh yeah, for sure. Expert features, showcase the industry experts, coaches, and speakers who will be part of the retreat, short videos, interviews. So cool, right?
It's unreal. Hey, Shanda, take note of this, because those retreats, exactly what it described. This is really affirming too, you guys, because it's like, I have had that on my list of eventually, I want to get to that level of doing these retreats. So we need to put that in our cap and think forward on planning those.
Girl, I do like 80 of them a year. So like, let's go.
Yeah, I dig it.
People are saying they buy into it, so
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Chris, can you ask it a question? Like, could you say like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this for this avatar. Is this a good fit for that audience? Basically, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, you just keep giving it, like the more specific that you get. Hang on, watch it. Give me 5 amazing names for the retreat. Boom, boom. Elevate the leadership and self-growth retreat, breakthrough boundaries, empowering professional progress retreat, ascent, the rise to your potential retreat, unleash, unlocking your inner leader retreat, horizon, expanding visions and ventures retreat. Awesome, right? Yeah, so cool. All right, hopefully that was helpful, Brenda.
Thank you. That was awesome. Thanks so much, Chris. Really appreciate it.
Of course. All right. Shanda, I know I have 10 minutes left.
I could jump on with you and just ask you some questions on this as we wrap it up, unless there's something you want to show on the Chrome.
No, I'm good. I think you guys got a good idea for everything, right?
Pop Brenda Lee off and pop me back on. Let's go.
All right.
Okay, let's see. Am I back on? There we go. Awesome. Okay, so Chris, a couple of things as we wind down on this. So when you guys pivoted to this and you started to teach AI, obviously money loves speed, you get the content out. What is your favorite way, like playbook, on when you create a piece of content to be able to push it through? Or are you creating the content with AI like you're doing right now with everything that you're doing?
Yeah, so here's just the way that we look at things. So, and when I say we, usually me and my wife, who's my partner, Jen.
Your wife now, I love it.
I know, it always sounds so funny. So what we do is we'll create one piece of content for whatever we like the best at that time. Like, and it sounds really weird, but this is something I learned. That if you try to create content for let's say you hate TikTok, but somebody told you have to create TikTok videos, you have to do this, you have to do this, you're going to do it and you're going to hate it and they're going to suck. And, so what we believe is that if you do something around like what you love, and so Jen loves Instagram. So everything she does is like created for Instagram, and then we just repurpose it for all the other places. And that little hack changes everything, because it's really important. I don't know. There's just so many people who tell you what to do, And you have to do it this way. You have to do it this way. And I think it's the worst. Like if anyone says that, like run.
Well, the reason why, the reason why people do that is because they're trying to put people in a framework and a structure to be successful. But
Yep.
like I learned that with webinars. I was like throwing cash, right? And people learn how to do webinars, and I would follow the scripts. And have you guys ever has anybody ever had a script done for you? And then you're like, that doesn't sound like me.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, I did 2 infomercials and spent a couple $100,000 on each of them and never had strong enough leadership. I was like, well, you're the expert. If any of you guys hear yourself say, you're the expert, that's exactly, you're going to fail and you're not going to rise up. Right. And so if you hear yourself say that, that is deferring leadership, deferring power to somebody else. So people like Chris, myself, people who teach webinars, live events like Suzanne Evans last week, it's like there's a framework for millions. There just is. It really comes down to a thinking pattern. And so when you look at what you want to do, you're following the thinking pattern. This is why coaching with people in an area of your life that you want to have an extraordinary result because they're cheaper, being really honest with you on this, is you're paying for a cheaper leadership, a cheaper mindset. So like when you say, I'm going to discount everything to get clients, customers, whatever, watch this type of thinking, because that's a leadership that's going, I heard Russell Brunson say this once, you don't want to run to the bottom of the barrel. Right? You don't want to run to the clients on the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
You want to go up, and it doesn't take thousands of clients to become a millionaire. It just doesn't, y'all.
Yeah.
It really doesn't. And sometimes, go ahead.
I was just going to say, one of my favorite things ever is 1,000 True Fans by Kevin Kelly. And essentially saying like, really, you just need 1,000 people that really love you. And, like you don't need millions. Like it's a great essay. If you
I'm going to read it, but that goes to show that like when we teach people how to build email lists and text message lists, the average client does 12, 1,700, 2,000, literally in that bucket, like 1,200, 1,700, 2,000. They do it in their first freaking list build. Right. Yeah. And it's like, so that's a great example. Those people are raving fans. And you see someone like our friend, who teaches webinars. There's a guy by the name of Jason Fladland who teaches webinars. And I remember him at one of my zone events. And I said, if you fail this program, if you fail the beginning of this program, you're going to have like a 300 or 600 person list. And he stood up and he was like belly laughing because of his leadership is so strong that he was like, you give me 300 or 600 people on email list, I'm gonna make like $7 million from that list. Like he's just brilliant at doing the presentations for webinars. So I share that with you because like when I'm listening to you talk, like one of the things I said, I think I said this yesterday at the end when I was priming for today. And I said, I might've just done this for VIP. I said, find a platform you love. I know Gary Vee and everyone who I respect Gary Vee to the 10th degree, but he runs an agency.
Yeah.
Right. And so his one thing is all the platforms.
Everything,
it's not actually content. It's actually all the platform. That is his one thing. Right. And so everybody I know that's gotten good on social, and by the way, Chris will tell you this too, do not leave your people on social. You got to put them in your email list, your text message list. You have to pull them off.
You're renting. Yeah.
You're renting. You're renting.
It's not your land.
It's not your land, right? And you'd be kicked off at any time or hacked off or stolen from, right? So you need to get it in your own database. We just did an email list clean on ours, Chris. We had 156 duplicates in our list that we just said goodbye to. 156,000 people that we just said goodbye to. Right. Yeah, and so I share this with you because don't look at unsubscribes. Yeah. Don't worry about that. Focus on leading up and don't worry about what's dropping off. And right now you don't want to be the person dropping off AI. You want to look at how do you become rich, but also how do you become famous? And I really believe there's an opportunity. From your PR and media side, real quick, Chris, what is one of the biggest things that you saw when someone actually like would take off and become famous? Because we have a mutual friend that worked with you and she was praying, Amy Lacey. She was praying next to her. Some of you guys are in this spot right now. It's going to be a deliverance moment. You're going to be delivered from poverty right now. Listen to me. She was praying next to her bed in the middle of the night because her husband was about to give her a little bit more money. And really, it was like she'd gone through everything. There was nothing left. And so she's praying. Share this story real quick.
Yeah, she had lost Amy Lacey, so she wound up creating the founder of cauliflower pizza crust and cauliflower foods, but she had lost in her first year $256,000, and she didn't have $256,000. And she wound up coming to our one of our events, Shanda, and the reason why, somebody told her about it, but her husband had seen one of the articles I wrote about productivity. He was like, oh, it'll be helpful for her. And I told her there, I was like, you're going to do $20 million next year. And she was like, no. I'm like, say it out loud to this whole room. And she's like, I'm going to do $20 million. She did. She went from minus 256 to 5 million to 20 million. And she created $1 billion brand. And like, so one of the big things for her was, you go back to the list, the way I helped get her agent and then book deal was because she had a big community. So she had 175,000 people on her list. And that was one of the things when I reached out to her agent, the person who wound up signing her, who's the #1 health and wellness agent in the world, book agent. And one of the things I said was she has 175,000 people on her list. That was something that they looked at. That helps you get a book deal. That's many times if you have a good list or not, is the difference between no deal and 6-figure deal. Like Jen
what about social media? Because when we started, I actually need to call you after your guys' challenge is done, but I'm going to write a book on my way to Ireland. So I'm going to write a book on the plane on my way to Ireland. I'm going to use AI to help not write the book, but to take some of my chapters and edit it out as a New York Times bestseller. But one of the things that when I started looking at big publishing houses, which by the way, y'all, you don't need a publishing house. You could self-publish and make millions and millions of dollars. I have lots of friends who've done that. But there is a point on the platform that it makes sense to do a publishing house. Right. And so it just depends on where you are on the trajectory of what your vision is, what God's calling you higher to be. And some people are like, I want to buy a building, but I'm not ready. Yes, you are ready. I want to be a New York Times best author, but I'm not ready yet. No, that's a joke. Like, it's not true. It's a lie inside your head that is a joke that's got you often thinking over here when really it's time to go right here. Right. So when you're looking at when you're looking at social media and stuff like that, I found they were like, it's interesting you have the social media followers, but they were bullish on my list.
Yeah, 100%. Same thing for Jen. I mean, Jen got a multi-6-figure book deal, and having more than 100,000 people, helps a lot. That was a big part of it. So Amy went from thinking she couldn't do a book to getting the 3 biggest publishers in her niche. Had a bidding war over her. And then that book wound up being a cornerstone to their business because it separated her from everyone else. So when all the knockoffs started coming in, they didn't have what she had in terms of media and what she had in terms of community, what she had in terms of the book and like all this. So she had this fortress built, and she wound up being able to sell that company or the majority of that company for a lot of money and move her entire family, meaning not just her family, like I think everyone who ever met her in her family from California to Florida.
No, okay. So I want to, and then I know that you have a give for everybody who jumped into leadership, like last week and this morning. But note, everybody write the word fortress down, because I know some of you guys think like I'm not ready. I want to take on this not ready conversation, because it's like, do you think she knew that she was going to move all of them to Florida? When you make good moves, and you stop doing it just for your feelings, and you do things based on the platform, the business, and you wear the hat of I work for the business. You stop saying, I don't feel like it, I don't want this, and you start saying, you know what, this is my commitment. And if the commitment requires you to reach more people, who's that for? You need to reach more people, put me, right? And so if your company needs you to reach more people, which everybody should be putting the word me right now, then not only do you need a list, but you need to be looking at AI, but you also need to be looking at becoming famous. And there's never been easier to do it than now. So what's your give for our hardcore leadership people?
All right, I'm actually, nobody's gotten this yet. This is actually something that I
Don't drop it here because everybody here doesn't have hardcore leadership. So just our
Oh, I was
total.
just going to show you because it's
Okay, show 'em.
all right, hang on real quick. No, this is different than what I was even going to give you because I didn't think it was going to be finished in time. So I just wrote this book and it's called Mastering AI Powered Marketing. So if what you saw today was helpful, you wait till you see like what's in here. Like this is no joke. Like this is we're going to sell this for $4.97. Like it's that good. So I'm going to get it over to you guys right after this.
So good. What's in this?
This is the everything.
This is the playbook. This is the holy grail of AI marketing.
It breaks down exactly like how we do all our stuff. Like it's short, sweet, and like it's everything that you need. So I will send that over to you guys.
So good. So we always get messages. So you guys, Chris, we love you. You guys say bye to Chris. We love you, love you, love you. Thank you. Mwah. Good luck on the work that you're doing today. Go ahead.
Also, just tell me whoever to send that
$250. Who won the $250 team?
Gail Gibbons.
Who?
Gail Gibbons.
Gail Gibbons. Gail
right,
Gibbons.
Gail.
I see her. She actually is in VIP. That's so good.
All right, cool. Just send me her PayPal, and please, somebody just send it. Don't don't make it hard. All right.
So
all right. Thanks, guys. Super grateful. Hope you learned some stuff. And thanks, Shanda. Love you.
Love you, my friend.
All right. Bye, guys.
Awesome, you guys. So I want to end on this. First of all, VIP, I'm going to come to you for 1 second, not for 1 second, for like 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever it takes. But for everybody else, I want to share with you, the reason why I asked Chris to come on is I've been learning artificial intelligence for a while. We built a whole agency around it. And at the end of the day, there's so many people who are talking about it, but not showing you how to use it. Was that useful? Yes or no? Was that useful? Yes or no? 100% you can do something with it. Now, the woman at first that was like, how do I get these prompts or how do I get these scripts? That's how I don't want you to think, with love, right? I want you to look at what are you being taught? What are you being taught? This is my approach to a light bulb. That's a really bad light bulb, guys. But this is my approach to a light bulb. So you get these light bulb ideas. How many guys got a light bulb idea right now? Put me. How many guys got a light bulb idea right now? You said me, right? I did. I was writing stuff down. I was looking at what are some of the things we could even be doing better in the agency. And then I'll share with Chris some of the things that we're doing. That's why it's called evangelistic leadership. Evangelistic leadership is, remember when I said Chris and I are like, who can outgive the other person? That's evangelistic leadership. It's not, hey, if I help you, I want some in here too. Right? Like some of you guys are doing that in your relationships. You're like, if I give, and you don't get given back to, then what happens? Martyrism, resentment. How many guys battling with resentment? Put R. No shame on that game, but it's going to take you down, right? Like it's going to take you down. You got to get outside the resentment. I'm looking in chat right now. How many guys are dealing with resentment? Put R. Right? There's somebody in your life you're dealing with resentment. Maybe you're resenting your business. Brenda Lee, I was like, I want you to look at some of these low priced offers because your offer's at $50,000. And I know that she wants to be with her kids. Right? And I'm like, and I believe that the world is going to go to free content. Right? I believe that some of these high ticket pricing it's already everything we learn. If you had good leadership, you could find it online and never have to take another course again. Isn't that wild? Why do you take a course? Because when you have an aha moment, you now need to put it into action. And to put something into action, this 100% is reliant upon your leadership, my leadership. If you don't believe that you're ready for something right now, that's your leadership. It is untrue that you are ever given this amazing idea. Some of you guys are getting an aha right now. If you want to be famous, or you say, I don't want to be famous. That's what I did. I said, I don't want to be famous. I knew I wanted to be rich as much as it took me years of working on myself to say that and not care what you think about me. You know what I mean? But look at Amy Lacey, who worked with Chris when they had their PR company. And Amy Lacey's just like, don't let my husband put another dollar into this. If there is a God, I need you to show up like now. And then guess what? There was another investment. Don't think that working with Chris and Jen was a cheap investment. it's a significant investment, 30, 40, 50. It's like you, Brenda Lee, like it's expensive, right? And so she's laying on the side of her bed. How many guys are on the side of your bed right now virtually, right? She's laying on the side of her bed going, please, please, like, do I pull the pin on this? Is this actually going to work? All of that is leadership. And when Amy had the grit, how many guys have grit? Put G. When Amy had the grit to go, right? When she created cauliflower pizza. She was the first cauliflower pizza. You want to talk about the beginning of a market? She was the cauliflower pizza. She will tell you how much junk is in the other cauliflower pizza companies. She will show you. She will like, here's how they mass produce this now, and how much junk and gums and all the crap that's in it, and how it's going to destroy your health if you keep eating those. You get what I'm saying? So she had grit. How many guys have grit? You put a G, I see it. How many of you guys have tenacity, right? You have tenacity, you get back up. How many of you guys have energy? Put E, you've got energy. But at the end of the day, those are different leadership characteristics. Do you see what I'm saying? So Amy leaned on Chris and Jen, made another investment, because I know we like to say, how do I get stronger? Well, God will give you some problems to deal with. How do I get richer? Well, God's going to give you some investments to step into. How do I get kinder? Well, he's going to test your patience, my friends. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you don't get better unless you practice. It doesn't just like, woo, I got this, I woke up. Like, I know that there's a lot of coaching out there that someday you're going to be fixed, but I'm telling you, there is nothing wrong with you. You are a builder. You are a builder of a legacy. And that build as a legacy requires you to get rich and famous, especially in today's world. Because right now you need to be taking a bunch of people to the top of whatever mountain, whatever problem they're leaving to their purpose, whatever problem they're leaving to their prosperity, whatever problem they're letting go of and saying, I'm not that identity anymore. And this is who God says I am. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? You get it? Like, whether you're into God or not, you get it. Put something else in there. You know, you get it because you can freaking feel it. So at the end of the day, when we have these ideas like, oh my gosh, it's going to take a lifetime to write a book, right? Because back in the old days, that's what they told us, right? And then you saw people breaking the 3-minute mile, the 6-minute mile. You get what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden everybody breaks it. So somebody writes a book in no time, and then everybody starts to go, oh, well, I had lunch with that person, I had dinner with that person. Then more people start writing books really quick. You guys get what I'm saying, right? And then all of a sudden you believe, and the minute you believe, your thinking moves into action. Well, I don't know about you, but I don't have enough time left. I'm kind of pissed that God wired it that I get this knowledge now. I wish I had it when I was 20. That's why I don't tell people in their 20s you got time, because you don't. You don't. You don't have time. I just literally, somebody in our leadership program, her husband passed away a couple days ago. I'm messaging with her this morning, and I'm sitting there going, God, he left a daughter behind. He left a wife behind. Do you know what I mean? He's still impacting people. I mean, I share that with you because you don't know if the 26-year-old has time. You don't know if you have time. You don't know if your wife or whatever is going to have a baby. And I just read another story of a woman I just donated last month. Some woman who gave birth and a week later died. Are you freaking kidding me? Now, I'm not trying to get morbid here. I'm trying to actually say, let's get urgent. Because the worst thing we ever did in the average market, in the middle class market, in the like, let's screw up and get a white picket fence and get a 401k. If you look up 401k, it's a freaking joke. It's a joke. It was developed after a war. See, we're not taught this in school to get us back into investing in the market. Where's your money when it's sitting in the bank? It's being invested, not for you. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, we got to get empowered, not only financially. We will not get empowered financially if we cannot take action on the things that we know we need to do. So I'm saying, what's your someday? Someday I'm going to write a book. Someday I'm going to get married. Someday I'm going to get in shape. Someday when my kids leave, I'm going to start that business. Someday I'm going to, no. Someday I'm going to buy a house. No, do it now. You're kidding yourself. You're taking the pressure off. And that's exactly what we've been taught, because have we not been taught that pressure is bad? Have we not been taught that? Pressure is bad. Well, last time I checked, these diamonds got created with pressure. Pressure. And so the best parts of us come out when we learn how to walk through pressure and go, you know what? Not only can I do this, but I can enroll other people to help me do this. That I don't have to do it alone, because the independence movement, ladies, was ridiculous. We got taught to be independent. Go look in scripture. That means alone, right? That means that we're independent. We're doing it alone. That is such BS. You want to grow a great business? You should not be doing it alone. You should be doing it with people who are called to be entrepreneurs, and you build a company of entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs, which means that they could leave you at any time to be an entrepreneur. And they may or they may not. But the point is that you have the same mindset and growth values to go after it. I'm telling you, now is the time. Now is the time. And so when I asked Chris to jump on, I was like, listen, I know that there's a bunch of people who will never jump into my leadership program. They're like, you know what, I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to do it slow. I'm going to do it, when I feel ready. I promised my husband or my wife I would never invest. I promised myself that I'm going to finish this before I actually do anything else. When this is the bridge, hardcore leadership is the bridge to you taking action, having the leadership to realize you are 100% responsible for your relationships, your bank account, and your present, as well as your future. And I recommend that you fund your future right now. This is not a make money program. This is a get into action, whatever goal that you set, whether it's relationship driven, health driven, God driven, money driven. I can tell you, we can coach you on it. 99% of our clients have gotten their results. I don't know why you need a 100% guarantee, but it doesn't exist. But this is pretty close to it. I can't fake those numbers. 99% of our clients who have gone to joinhclnow.com, 99% in 3 years. That is the best freaking guarantee for your future that I could ever ask for. Did you guys hear what I'm saying? So I share that because I asked Chris, I said, you know what? Some of these people are not going to jump in, but maybe they will do something you train them on today. And then when I'm hearing things like, can I have the script? What do you mean? It's on the video, right? Or like the Brenda Lee, who I love, right? Like, we're just talking real talk. It's like, getting $50,000 and she's dynamic at what she does. Like, love the girl, tried to hire her in my own company. Like, love her, powerhouse. But like, confused. You saw Chris. He's like, let's hold on. That's too much. How many of the rest of you guys, you have something going on like this, confused? Or there's a next level for you. That you could be loving bigger. You could be forgiving bigger. You could be playing bigger. You could be using your days better, right? Like my friend Jesse Itzler literally says, look at how many summers are left in your life, depending on how old you are. I don't know the number, but if men pass away at 76 or 78 and women pass away at 82 or 85, whatever the number is, ask yourself, how old are you right now? And how many summers or how many Christmases or how many Thanksgivings or how many Easters do you have left? And so when I rally for whether or not you jump in the leadership program or not, when I rally for taking action now, and I tell you you're 100% responsible, I am the girl that is not going to be enrolled in your smallness or in any excuse. And you need that. Based on results, you need that. We all need friends like that. I started this program because of friends like that. So I'm going to highly encourage you to go to joinhclnow.com. We are going to be winding down this offer. We're going to be winding it down. I could stop it tomorrow, but it's definitely stopping at the end of this week. I could stop it tomorrow because I'm getting a little bit like, are you seriously? Like there's hundreds of you have jumped in, right? Or jumping in. And so when you look at that, I'm just like going, what's happening to the other 17,000 that registered to learn how to make millions? Because if you haven't done it yet, what makes you think in the next 30, 60, 2 years, 5 years, what makes you think that you're going to do it? And I'm not saying my program's the only way. I'm saying my program will make every other program you've ever touched work. And if you want that type of result, go to joinhclnow.com. Chris is throwing in his almost $500 guide on how to use AI. That's a game changer. Whether or not you jump into HCL or not, I'm going to tell you, if you don't start using AI, whether it's hiring us to do it for you, or you do it yourself, or you hire virtual assistants, whatever it is, if you don't start using AI, you will, mark my words. I said this 3.5 years ago. I said, AI is going to come in. It's going to come in the next 3-ish years. A recession is going to hit. And I said, there's going to be a perfect storm. This is true. I said, it's on video. I said it at our big last zone event, right? Which was about 3.5 years ago. And I said, when that happens, there's going to be a bunch of people who are left behind because they didn't do what they needed to do to get themselves prepared. Now we're here. And AI is better than I could ever imagine. Yes, there's parts that scare me too, right? But I'm not going to stop it. So what am I going to do? I'm going to be an early adopter. Some of you guys are like, how did somebody get 1 million views on Facebook? How did somebody get 1 million followers on YouTube? Well, when you have those followers, you can screw up the whole thing. Your messaging can suck. Everything can suck, and you will still make money. Build platforms for you, build platforms for your family, build platforms for your grandbabies. Get a vision that is much bigger than your bank account. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? So right now, if you go to joinhclnow.com, or you jumped in already, we're going to get you Chris's AI manual. But here's the deal. 3 days is vision. It's all virtual. Bear with me, you guys who've already heard me say this, okay? Because this is a love moment. And it like this training before I owned it is the reason why I did over $100 million in real estate in less than 2 years. It's the reason why I had enough discipline to hang up my running shoes and find my husband in 90 days and get married and have babies. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't have done that. I was on the trajectory for single. I was on the trajectory for broke. I was on the same road that some of you guys are on right now, which is single, broke, and probably in decent shape, probably drinking too much wine. That was my trajectory. And I would have rose up in that middle class line, even though I had tons of ambition. How many of you guys have tons of ambition and you've been hanging out in the middle class, right? You ready to leave? You ready to leave? Because if you are, that's joinhclnow.com. That's not like I can't figure out the payment. I discounted it 52%. And by the way, my accounting team just said to me last week, we can't sell it this cheap anymore. So like windows closing. Get into joinhclnow.com. Otherwise, I'm going to raise the price up to $5,000. And then you're going to be in a situation where you will figure that out. Because eventually what happens is you start to realize, if I keep hitting my head against the wall and nothing's working, well, eventually you have to stop and look in the mirror. This is the program that has you look in the mirror, but it has you get empowered. Vision gives you the vision to play a bigger game than you're playing now. The one that motivates you to fall through. You got a procrastination problem? No, you don't. You have a vision problem. And by the way, you've been trying to fix your procrastination problem or your perfectionism problem because that's what the world of personal development has actually taught you. The problem is that vision overcomes procrastination and perfectionism. There's no way that I could get 99% of my students to get the results if perfectionism and procrastination was real, because if it was real, guess what? You would bring it right into this program. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? It's a vision problem. So when you're beating yourself up thinking I got to get better at my habits, like I'll tell you how to get better at your habits, get a vision that compels the shit out of you. Like truly, that you have to create it now. It's urgent. It's not I can't handle this now, I'll do that later. No, that's the procrastination game. I'll do that when I'll buy that building when I'm ready. I'll write that book when I'm ready. I'll build that business when my kids leave. No, that's the procrastination. Do you get what I'm saying? Versus understanding you don't have to give up. I'm the girl who says you do not and should not give up your family, your health, your relationship with God, your relationship with your parents, your relationship, if they're still alive, your relationship with your children, your relationship with yourself. You should not give all that up because you're ambitious. Like that's a bad game. So if you think you need to do that, that's not true. You don't. This is the program. The whole mantra in this program is you can have it all. It's just you have to build it right. And we do it over 4 months in this program. So vision gets you out of procrastination, perfectionism. Some of you guys need to go to joinhclnow.com right freaking now, because you've had a lifetime of procrastination. If you were really honest with yourself, what that's cost you is massive. This is cheap. compared to what that's cost you. Breakthrough is 4 days. Breakthrough is 4 days. This is all virtual. Okay, so you do it in a virtual stage, a virtual Zoom room. You have to be there. You got to check in. You can't just come in and leave. Like, every exercise builds on each other. You guys who've done HCL, go in the comments and share what has changed in your life because of it, right? What has changed in your life because of it? If you've done HCL, right? I have done HCL. This is what changed in my life. Like, tell people, because if they can't hear me, maybe they can hear you. Because I can tell you this, the flip that happens that gets you to rise up. Like, I remember having no money, losing my homes in foreclosure. And literally it was a speaker, it was somebody's voice that got me to believe. I caught a vision bigger than my foreclosures, and I paid $21,000 for the real estate program. Isn't that wild? Couldn't pay my houses. They were going into foreclosure. I was getting the notices on the door, but it was vision. If you just gotta believe me on this. Vision is the reason why you can't. It's not you. And at least my parents never taught me vision. Do you get what I'm saying? I had a vision to be a legal secretary for my entire life. I had a vision to have a 401k. I had a vision to have dogs, kids, and a house and live in California. I got the vision I thought was possible, but I was leaving a lot of my legacy on the table, on the field. Do you get what I'm saying? Breakthrough will have you breakthrough. This gives you the ability to take action. Okay? Now, here's the problem with most trainings is that you go back to being the same person you are. So what we do is we say, test us. And this is where the 99% comes in. This is practice. You cannot win without practice. To be able to graduate this program, some of you ambitious people will love this because you understand the power of good pressure, healthy pressure. You can finish this program. You can finish the program. Just finish. But you cannot graduate. You cannot graduate unless you hit your major goal. It's called a vision stretch project. It's called a vision stretch project. Means that it's connected to your vision. It's the thing that you don't feel ready for. And this program is not that interesting unless we go for that, right? Like, this is not that interesting unless we go for that. So you take your vision. We've empowered you to take action now. You're ready to go. This training has 3 meetings in it. And these 3 meetings are basically so that we can course correct you over the course of 90 days to make sure you hit it. If you are already enrolled in HCL, put HCL in the comment section. If you're already enrolled in HCL, put HCL in the comment section. You guys, these are the people that you'll be studying with. This is the community that you're standing arm to arm with. You're standing on their shoulders. There's thousands of people that you're standing on top of their visions and their dreams and their family legacies that they thought that they weren't ready for or thought that they weren't capable of. And now they're unleashed. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? So this is vision, breakthrough, practice. You have to hit your goal to graduate. And this is where we base all of our statistics off, not the amount of clients that go through it. It's actually the amount of clients that actually graduate, not just finish. Hear what I'm saying? So this is a tough program. I have to unwind everything that has become you to this moment. This is not I'm going to sit and watch a trainer for a few hours and go, wow, that's interesting, and journal. This is a program that you are going to face the things that you do not feel like facing. This is the thing that you are going to face, the thing that is in between you and your legacy. And I couldn't imagine a better way to slide into the halfway mark of 2023 to prime the next of the year to make sure that you succeed. So I go to joinhclnow.com. Chris has thrown in his artificial intelligence guide to only the buyers of this program because they're the ones who are going to take action on it. He's going to sell that for $500, $497, or whatever he said he's going to sell it for. He's going to give it to you guys, and you're going to take action on it. Why? Because 99% of my clients do. So I'll bet on you now. I'll bet on you after you do this program. I'm not going to bet on you before this program, because I see it over and over and over again, the excuses and the reasons why and the justifications on why you back up. Don't do that to yourself. All right, you guys, I'm going to move over to VIP tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to teach my 5-step sales process. It's really, I'm going to simplify sales, because if you never buy my leadership program, if I could simplify as much as possible, right? I recommend you buy it. I recommend you don't chance your results in life. Go to joinhclnow.com, right? But if you're like, that's it, I'm not doing it, right? If you're just, for whatever reason, those reasons, by the way, if you want to do it, I'm not talking to people who don't want to do it, but if you want to do it and you can't get yourself to figure out how to do it, whatever that looks like for you, that thing in your head, whether it's resourcefulness of making money, finding money, talking to a spouse or somebody that doesn't support you, whatever it is, that's all leadership. Do you see what I'm saying? So you're going to live, I hate to make it as painful, but it's true. You're going to live with that forever. Because everything you want to do, you're going to have to solve that problem, whatever that problem is right now, to go into HCL. I'm talking to only the people who want it. The people who don't want it, I'm not talking to, right? I'm just talking to the people who want it. Whatever it is that you want, you're going to have to go through whatever that's stopping you right now. And that's leadership. Do you see how this is actually the break to freedom? I don't want to waste any more of my life. I want to lead up. I want to be able to create what I want. I don't want to stop because of insecurities. I don't want any of that. And I want to be able to think. So when I'm listening to someone like Chris talk, I'm like, I can make this better. Here's how I can make this better. I can use that to make it better and reach more people, right? And you saw me do it. I asked them certain questions. I'm like, boom, already into play on Slack, right? I mean, that I'm already putting it into play with our team so that we can go take that and make it even better with what we're doing. Do you see what I'm saying? That's leadership. There ain't nothing, my friends, that you want that is not accessible this year. There just isn't. It's leadership. All right, we're gonna flip to the other side. I'll see you tomorrow on Hook You Financially tomorrow in my 6-step process. I said 5-step, but it's actually 6-step process. It's super simple. I haven't taught this for a long time, but I think it'll really help you. So tomorrow morning, I'll jump on Stream Live. We are 4 days away from being done 7-figure frameworks. Everything I'm teaching, with complete honesty, can create 7 figures. You can create 7 figures on their own. That's not an income claim. But if you applied any of these days, you could create 7 figures. If you put them together, you could probably create multiple. Again, not an income stream. The only difference to that is you taking action. That's your freaking leadership. Seeing a way through. All right, you guys.